What would you say is a message, if you could have a message for the teachers like us? What is the importance of your story to us?
Well, the number one message, and I think the most important here is to ensure that history is not forgotten. Everyone knows that people forget history, and everyone knows that history repeats itself. For me, the summation of it all is Pastor Niemöller, the German pastor, who in the beginning supported Hitler. It took him a while to come to the realization that Hitler's anti-Semitic rules and actions were unjust, and he began to open up his mouth about it, at which time he was promptly arrested and locked up in a concentration camp. He had the good fortune of surviving it all. And at the end, when he was released, he summarized it so well. I don't know it by heart, but to summarize it, he said it in effect: when they came to arrest the Unionists, I kept quiet. I'm not a member of a union. When they arrested the Communists, I kept quiet. I'm not a communist. When they came to arrest the Social Democrats, I kept quiet. When they arrested the Jews, I'm not a Jew. And when they came to arrest me, there was no one left to speak up on my behalf. And I think that sums up the whole thing. If you keep quiet, if you shut your eyes to injustice that happens in front of you, your neighbors and so forth, ultimately you will wind up paying the price.
And I've thought that over and over as we've been through this trip, because in every community we have visited, there has been what you like to call principle about for every action, there is a
equal and opposite reaction.
There were people who helped you, while other people, maybe more, wanted to hurt you. And then there were the people who just said, this isn't my problem, and I don't want to see it. So sometimes I feel like maybe it isn't an equal reaction, but the reaction is there, and it gives me hope.
But it is exactly that which makes me most emotional when I think of the people of Chambon. Because to me, at the time, I didn't realize it, but now I understand that these were people who essentially, Chambon and the immediate surrounding area is Protestant in a predominantly Catholic country. So they are a minority. Their ancestors found refuge here because the land was inhospitable, and the Catholics in the 16th century, who were pursuing the emerging Protestant adherents, gave up chasing them. They figured they couldn't survive up here. So they became hardy enough to take root here and to form agricultural communities. And as you view the pictures as we drove through here, it ain't easy to be a farmer here. They didn't have mechanization. It was all done by hand, by human beings, and they survived. And this always evokes in my mind that's for me, very touching scene when Pierre Sauvage, the producer of Weapons of the Spirit, stops a lady who is shuffling towards her temple, holding a Bible in the crook of her arm, and he says to her, "Madame, but what made you do this? You know this was against the law. It says here that if someone is sick, you go to their bedside and you try to bring them cheer. If someone is hungry, you ask them at table to table, and you share whatever food you have. If someone needs shelter, you open your door and you provide shelter for them." This to me is the right thing to do. It's what the Bible tells people to do. But these people here are not telling others to do what the Bible says, but they did what the Bible says.
And I think, too, the inspiring part to me as well is that it was a habit of goodness.
Right.
They didn't just start, they had prepared for this moment, that moment in time, you know, unconsciously, subconsciously, however, they had prepared for that through other habits of goodness.
Yes. As you say correctly, back in the 30s already, during the Spanish Civil War, they already took in numbers of refugees from the Spanish Civil War, and they've always been they call themselves un village d'accueil, a village of reception, of welcome, and when people are in need, they don't ask why or what you're in need. I will help you. This is rare in the world.